Now, as you guys know, we are amongst a triple header in Formula 1 and crucially, two back-to-back races in Bahrain. Yesterday was the race around the actual circuit, and I'm pre-recording this, so I'm not sure who won. If I had to guess, it's probably this man right here, Lewis Hamilton. But this weekend coming up, we are racing around the, I wouldn't say brand new, but the modified Bahrain layout, which is the outer circuit or the oval circuit, depending on how you want to call it. So essentially, I'll put a picture on screen right now, but basically we cut out sector 2 and we go all the way around the outside in what is a very quick lap and around 55 seconds, give or take. Now, I've done a few tests to make sure everything's working well. We're going to try and see how fast exactly we can really go with this Formula Race Sim Studio car, which is a 2020 generic F1 car, and I've just installed a Mercedes skin mod on top of it. So we're going to go for it. First of all, we're going to go for a very quick track guide, then we're going to go for a hot lap, and then we're going to jump into a race with some AI cars. So let's jump into it. If you guys enjoy this video, smash the like button, subscribe for more content like this, guys, and help me reach 55,000 subs, guys, by the end of the year, and let's get this video underway. So then, guys, let's go for a track guide of the Bahrain Outer circuit, shall we? Because it's quite a lot different, but also very similar in the sense that not much changes. So of course, the pit straight is largely unchanged, and we make our way down towards turn 1. So at this point, anchors out, try and spot the braking, 100-meter board. Easy on the brakes there, so you tip the car into the first corner, get back on the power, turn 2, and then turn 3, as you then go uphill towards turn 4. Now, up until this point, the track is unchanged, but now we go back in time to 2010, where instead of going right, we now go left for turn 5. That's going to open up turn 6, and just like 2010, we've got a chicane coming up here, which is very, very tight, so we're going to try and open it up. And then in 2010, we used to go right there, but we're going to go straight across, cut across, and rejoin with the actual current racetrack here, which is the end of sector 2, start of sector 3, and straight away, we're already now going down to the final corner here. So we're going to crank up the engine modes and go for a bit of a quick lap here. So power down at the final corner, and there we go. We now wait for the DRS to open. There we go. Let's see what kind of lap time we can do. So down towards the first corner, nice and late on the brakes, heavy on the anchors. Try and pick up the apex if you can. There's a lot of understeer as I'm running very, very low wings around here, because of course this is going to be an all-out power circuit with straight line speed being the ultimate factor in terms of a good lap time. Turn 4. Easy on turning there, a lot of understeer. We try and get the power down as you then flick it through the chicane. Then go very wide through here to kind of straight line your braking into the chicane, which is very tricky. And then right here, the track dips away from you. The car wants to spin. It's so difficult to hold on to it. But if you do, you're going to get a lot of lap time. And I'm not sure how bumpy it is in real life. Apparently, it's quite bumpy through that kind of cut through section. So I'm curious to see how that goes as we lock the rears and now exit the final corner and make our way up to the line. Nowhere near draining the ERS, of course, because it's such a short lap, and we set 55.7, so that's the kind of reference benchmark we're looking at. But with that said, we're now going to move into a race with some AI, and we're going to see how racing would be around here. I did a video about this a little while ago, but we're going to do an updated version because why not? Okay guys, here we are then. It's time for the race. I've tried to get the night mod to work as best as I can. This particular version of Bahrain is different to another version I used last week, and basically the lights don't actually work, but I've managed to get the night mod to somehow have good visibility. So I think we're going to be okay here if you just kind of look past the fact the lights are off. So we've got basically a night race on our hands around the outer circuit. We're starting from the back of the grid as Hamilton. The tyres are red, but they are actually C3 medium compound tyres, guys, so don't read into it too much. It shouldn't affect the performance in terms of, you know, the tyres are on the same ones as everybody else. It's mainly a bit of a visual thing rather than a performance thing. So yeah, either way, we're going to start from the back of the grid and try and fight our way through in this Mercedes car. 6 laps, so let's jump into it and have a little bit of fun. Well then, here we go. It's time for a race around the Bahrain Oval, or the outer layout. Lights are coming on. Got those revs in the sweet spot. Lights out, and away we kind of go. As we off a bit slowly there, we're going to be a bit cautious, as we know the AI on Assetto Corsa can be a bit retarded, to, you know, not use a stronger word. Into turn 1, I'm going to get cut off there by Veloce. I've been dive bombed by another car, but that's okay. Easy does it through turn 2. The Williams goes around the outside. That's Nicholas Latifi. Got a good run though through here. We're going to try and get the AlphaTauri down the inside into turn 4. Trying to squeeze through. The AlphaTauri though leaving me minimal room, but he stays in front for now. We're going to get the run though as we swoop down the inside, as we now head into the chicane for the first time. Outside line for me here. We're going to be very careful on the power. There's very little grip there. Through the right-hander, going onto the straight, there's just no traction at all. It's very bumpy, and apparently it's going to be like that in real life as well. Either way, side by side here with Sebastian Vettel. Hamilton versus Vettel again, just like in Turkey, but this time around the Bahrain Outer layout, and Vettel getting great drive out of there. We're going to see if we can try and compete with the Ferrari on the straight. The AI do use DRS straight away. We're going to wait until lap 3 as always. Down towards the first corner we go. This could be carnage, so again I'm going to be very cautious. Vettel down the inside, clipping the bollard and getting a bit loose as he tries to challenge George Russell. Going to crank up the engine to full power here as we make our way up towards turn 4. On the brakes, not quite. Vettel goes defensive to respond. He gets a bit loose though. We're going to use that to get by, and there we go. We get ahead of Sebastian, and we can now try to get past the Williams of Mr. George Russell through the chicane, trying to get a bit of a cut back there, which works out beautifully for us. Side by side. This is going to be intense, but we're going to try and fight for that slipstream with the Haas. And actually, we're going to get the run here. Down the inside we go. Into the final corner. We're going to get the Haas as well. There we go. Job done. So we've made up a few places this lap. I believe we're up to P13 now. And DRS will now be enabled on this lap. So let's try and make a bit more progress. Verstappen out front leading the race. Bottas in P2. Looks like they are actually pretty crazy on this one. Even outside of lap 1, they seem to be going for some pretty crazy dive bombs. Tyres are nicely in the window now in terms of temperature, as we now open DRS for the first time. We can chase after Kimi. You're going to save a little bit of ERS because I'm starting to run out. Of course, this is such a power circuit. In real life, they're going to have real struggles. So I'm curious to see how that works out in terms of ERS management, because it's going to be a bit of a pain around here. We tried to challenge the Alpha, but it doesn't really work out for me there. A bit scruffy, but the Alpha gets a bit loose. We might be able to challenge here, out of here. There we go. I think we've done. I think we've cleared Kimi, so we can move across. That was a very easy move, completely unexpected one, but we're through anyways. So we're now P12, but like I was saying, ERS is going to be a real key factor here. I think, you know, you think about a whole race, I think it's 71 laps, I could be wrong. You know, just constantly motoring around this track. That's going to be really, really tough for the engines. You know, if you're running a power unit that's, you know, done a lot of races in real life, that's going to be a tough one as we encounter a bit of an issue there through turn 1, but we clear the traffic again nicely. So we're now up into the top 10. We're making great progress here. Let's see if we can make a bit more. We've got a red bob ahead. Oh, McLaren down the inside. Didn't even hear that one, to be fair. Right in my blind spot. Side by side with the McLaren, but we're going to just go around the outside as Ricciardo retires from the race. Lock up, but we get the move done and we're through. Trying to get some power there out of the final corner. Or that final part of the track anyway. So now we're P10. 2 laps to go. Can we get anything else out of this? It's going to be tricky, but we'll try it. That's Albon in front actually, so we'll try and get to the back of him and see if we can get a couple more points. But we don't have DRS just yet. What kind of pace we're setting? So 59.2, we can do better than that. Let's go for a push lap and see how fast we can really go here. On the anchors, McLaren down the inside. Carlos Sainz fighting back. You'd love to see it. Fair play. We've lost Grosjean from the race as we can now use DRS here against Carlos. Can we get by? No, we can't. Look at the McLaren go on the straight. Seems like the AI now are really starting to get into their rhythm, and they're pretty quick actually. It looks like. Oh my goodness me, that's close. Fighting with Sainz here. I'm going to be a little bit more cautious on the brakes this time. Sainz is still hanging in there though. Fair play to him. We get the cutback. Oh, this is becoming a nice little juicy scrap here for the final point. I'm enjoying this. The AI have completely vanished in the horizon there, so we've lost them. We're going to make sure we're in full power mode here. I was actually in the charging mode there, so I was in the wrong engine setting. So now we should be a bit quicker. Last lap of the race. This is it then. We're going to wait for the DRS to become available. We're slowly closing in and gaining on Sainz. Slowly, slowly, slowly. Got a spin at turn 1 as we go down the inside of Carlos. Rear tyres trying to lock up there with the rear brake bias, but we go around the outside and we make the move. And with that, we're now up to P9 as Ocon, I believe, was backwards at turn 1. And he's out of the race now, so there we go, confirmation of that. Going to try and push here to the finish, see if we can get anything out of this. Now that I'm in full power mode, which I made a mistake of not doing before, we should be a lot quicker here. And we're rapidly closing in on that racing point. This is going to be a strong lap from us, actually. Look at that, 1.6 up. This could be a really good lap. One more corner to go. Bottas wins it. He beat Verstappen. So he brings them the W for Mercedes. Final corner for us. Nicely done out of there. Run it up to the line. What's the lap going to be? It's going to be a 55.6. And there we go. That's a great lap in the race as we finish in P9 here today. Well guys, there we go then. That is it for the race here at the Bahrain Outer Circuit. If you guys enjoyed it, then slap a like on it. All the links, guys, to the mods used in this video will be down below in the description. So do be sure to check those out, and especially the car. The car is insane from Racing Studio. I really love this mod. And yeah guys, check out the 2 videos on your screen as well if you have missed them for more Bahrain content. And I'll be back once again guys next week for the finale, and also for a video probably later on this week to try and beat the pole time, whatever that may be around the circuit. So keep your eyes peeled for that one. But guys, thank you for watching. Like, subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time. But until then, take care, and it's goodbye from me.